what's the reaction on the street? If we walked out right now, within 5 blocks, what am I hearing?
Well, reaction what? For the new shows
No,
coming
just
out
you.
or just me?
Just you.
Get out of my way. Who are you? No. I think the reactions, you know, you've been around, I've been around long enough in different areas, so I get, you know, I'll get a nice broad spectrum of ages. I get kids that parents made them watch some of my movies, or kids that read The Outsiders, see that film.
Yeah.
You know, I'll get the Stay Gold Pony Boys shout outs. I'll get the, you know, Paint the Fence.
Oh.
You know, I'll get the wax-ons. I'll get them a body bags and all that stuff that you guys probably talk about constantly.
I know.
Or open your show with.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
just
yeah.
a hunch.
We've been known to do
You
that.
know, but usually a pretty warm embrace.
But
So I gotta
it's
say
a
that.
compliment that they're saying, and
Yes.
I know you.
Yes.
I know you get tired of it, or you know, how do I respond to the 97,000th time
Right.
that somebody
And
gets in,
making them
doing the crane or
right,
something?
making them feel that it's they're the first ones who came up with it. Yeah, I think I'll say this much. You know, now as I get older, or shall I say, as I look younger, or try to, I embrace it more and more because you sign up for that. And the concept that, say, speaking of the Karate Kid and all this with the Cobra Kai series coming out, the fact that it's 34 years ago and people still have an opinion on it and want to talk about it or make videos about, you know, was the crane kick an illegal move, and should you know, is justice for Johnny, or is, you know, without Miyagi, is he really anything? And you know, and you know, he was my inspiration. And the fact that is a relevant conversation, who would not sign up for that 34 years later?
But
you know,
it feels
it's a
like
great thing.
Mr. Miyagi is Belichick,
Right.
and Daniel-san is Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Have you heard that analogy?
No, and I
Okay.
enjoy it, and I'm married to a model now. And as Tom Brady, no, I'm saying don't need Tom Brady. No, I'm married to the greatest woman on the
Would you
planet.
have been anything without Mr. Miyagi?
Would Daniel LaRusso or would Ralph Macchio?
Would Daniel LaRusso?
That's a great question, because we could all use our little human Yoda to guide us through adolescence and life. I think what Daniel LaRusso has become in those films, and now what happens to him in Cobra Kai, I would say he's a far better man, husband, father, because of the Miyagi influence. And that's part of the arc in Cobra Kai. When we first meet Daniel LaRusso 30 years later, he has that void in his life. Miyagi's been gone for 8 years. Martial arts is not quite in his life anymore. He's got a great family, successful car. He's the auto king of the San Fernando Valley. Everything looks fantastic, but as Miyagi would say, not everything is as seen.
What was that script like when you first saw Karate Kid? What'd you think?
I thought it was kind of corny. I thought it was, and at that time I was pretty young and just coming into it, so it wasn't like I was a seasoned veteran of
Now you had done The Outsiders.
I'd done The Outsiders, yes.
Okay.
So I you know, and a few things before that, but The Outsiders was sort of the big break, and then Karate Kid took it to another level. I thought it was. I thought that the Miyagi-Daniel relationship was, and it's interesting. They always spoke about Toshiro Mifune or some great Kurosawa's kind of Japanese actor coming in. And Daniel said, "Show me a big fence," you know. It's like, and so it was a whole other thing. And when Pat Morita came in the room, and was perfect in every possible way, that chemistry was just spectacular.
Who were you up against for that role?
Charlie Sheen was around. Downey Jr. was around. I think they found me early. They found me early in New York. I read with John Avildsen, who just passed away recently. Sad, you know. So some of these guys are not seeing this resurgence now. But I read with John. That video of me reading with John is on YouTube. You could see that on YouTube. My first cold reading and Pat's first cold reading separately, and he sort of edited them together. It's really fascinating because it's basically they handed me the script. I read the scene with the director, and you could watch that on YouTube, and you see that kid. Like, you see the role. It's not like, okay, then we had to take it here.
When did your life change with that movie?
Soon after the movie came out.
Was it a hit right away?
It was a sleeper hit, but it was the talked about. You know, going to a mall on a Saturday became less of a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.